Welcome to this video where I'm going to show you how to get to and solo Epic Elite in the belly of the beast. This is one of the coolest, it is hands down the coolest quest in the Menace of the Underdark expansion. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's no named loot. It's like the only quest, well, one of the only quests from that expansion with no named loot, and it's the coolest quest, and because there's no named loot, nobody's going to run it. But it's so full of story, and it's very creative, and there are lots of little optionals that you can do that really enrich the experience of the quest. So we're in the Evening Star Cavern right now, and what you want to do is go to the Rizmalag ruins. Okay, and that's an explorer point that you have to open up in the Underdark to be able to teleport right there. And this actually puts you really close to the quest. It's just like a 15-second run from here. But if you don't have the Rizmalag portal open, the quickest way to do that is run to the south end of the King's Forest. Okay, and there's that cave that takes you to the Underdark, and that's going to put you here. As opposed to if you were just to go to the Underdark from the Evening Star Cavern, you would be way up here, and you'd have to snake your way all around, and that takes takes several minutes. And don't forget, in the King's Forest, you can teleport to that southern base site, which is going to take you very close to that south cave to the Underdark. So if you take that south cave from the Underdark, you're going to go right here, and it's a pretty quick run just to come up here and go to the rune site and get that explorer point, which is the portal. Now from here, when you come through the Rizmalag portal, you're just going to make a right. And you're going to go over a couple of bridges here, up a ramp, and you're at the quest. And here we are. Actually don't need the shrine. There's a shrine right up there, but there's a shrine pretty early on in the quest too. So if you're not at full mana, no worries. This is a level 24 quest on Epic Elite. I am level 26, so while I'm a couple levels over, I'm still within the level range to get full bravery bonus. And that's what's important. So you come up to this guy and he's going to ask you what's the password. And we're going to intimidate and tell him, let me pass or I shall strangle you with your own entrails. Why yes, that is the right password. How about that? So Drow-like. And that's one of the things that I love about this quest, is that you get sort of a lot of that Drow-like role-playing going on in here. There's a lot of backstabbing and conniving and everybody just trying to outdo each other. So there are several optionals. There are actually 4 different optionals that you can get experience for. And I'm not going to do every one of them because they're actually, you don't have to do any of them. And you can do different combinations of them, and you can go for trying to get the experience for all of them, or you can go for more chests. In this case, I'm going to go for more chests. So with this guy, he's going to tell you about his weakling cousin Voltaine, and one of the optionals is to agree to kill him, which let's go ahead and do that. And nobody's going to attack you at this point. You'll only, before you get to the arena, you're only going to have a fight if you choose to start it. So next, let's come down here. There's another optional there, but we're going to come down here to talk to this drow lady over here, who says that that mind flayer up there, the Illithid, is using his mental powers to screw the fights up, and they're losing money. And so she says, you know, if you take him out, then, you know, she'll make it worth your while. And of course, we have no compunctions about killing a brain-eating illithid. We have a deal. Alright. So that's two things we have agreed to do. So the first thing, here is the cowardly cousin Voltaine. And what's neat about these optionals is that it actually affects the arena fight. So if you kill this guy, his slaves normally fight against you, and I can't remember if they're not there or if they fight for you. I think they're not there. Start a fight. So he's taken care of. Went the wrong way. Can come up this ramp back here. And now we're going to go have a conversation with the Mind Flayer. And we're going to fight all of his friends too. Blah blah blah. Start a fight. Don't worry about burning up your mana because we're going to have a shrine right after this. Done. So that's two optionals. We're going to get 2 extra chests now, and there will be 3 chests at the end. And like I said, unfortunately, no named loot. Really, really lame that they did that, because this is such an awesome quest. I think it's one of the best quests in the game, just because it is kind of unique. They did something totally different, and I think the optionals just give it so much flavor. Oh, you actually don't even need to go back and talk to the guys to secure your reward. It'll be at the end. Shrine up. Mana is going to be pretty tight soloing this on Epic Elite. A lot to fight inside of the arena. talk to the head of the arena, Fel Varim. And what do we got here? Haggle roll, bluff roll, diplomacy. We're trying to secure the freedom of the purple dragon knights that they have captive. And so this is another option here that will affect your arena fight, because this is going to determine whether they're in the arena fighting with you or whether they're just gone. So let's see. What skills do I have? Diplomacy 56. And that's without an item on. Diplomacy it is. So he says take the knights and go. So I believe that'll take them right out of the fight. They won't even be there. And now our only option is to try to fight. And then of course he drops you right into the pit. But even though that there's no named loot in here, so it's not as popular as a quest as it might otherwise be, it is part of some sagas though, so some people will still run it. But at the same time, a lot of people will choose this, a lot of VIPs will choose to make this one the one that they're skipping. So just got wave after wave after wave, and this is another reason why I like this quest, because you get to fight so many mobs at the same time. I've noticed in the last maybe month or so, and some guildies have told me they've experienced the same thing, that I'll throw some heals and they just don't seem to want to go. It's very strange. That just happened to me there. And there's a blind Yonti back there trying to figure out where he is. Where you going, buddy? No, I'm only rocking a Earthquake DC of 48 at this level. Not very impressive at all, but still very effective. I'd say so. So we got a couple mobs making their saves here. But you can see they're blinded and moving slowly, so they're not really a threat at all. So now the announcer talks about Rytez, and he's the one we did the favor for by killing his cousin. So here, instead of fighting against us, he's actually going to fight for us. Pretty cool. Except he's just standing there. Not so cool. And you can go on to DDO Wiki, and if you want to learn how to get all 4 optional experience, to get the experience for all 4 optionals, you will only get 1 chest if you do that, but that will tell you the order in which you need to do things. And one of them is kind of tricky. You have to, one of the optionals is to steal this amulet that Rytez has on the table, and you know, if he sees you, then he attacks, so you have to do it without him seeing you. The boss Chrisendor that we want to deal with. The rest are just Blade Masters, orange names. And we got some purple worms. A very cool monster in DDO. And the purple worm's tail. And another purple worm. And he knocks down the stand, so then you got all these drow spectators to deal with. Now this quest can bug out a little bit. What can happen is, actually, there's a few bugs, but specifically here, what happens is you'll get some mobs that won't activate, and they can be stealth, sort of hiding by the walls, and if you find that this fight is not advancing, that's probably what's happening. And so one of the things that I've been able to do to make it progress is to use a summon, and just walk around the entire perimeter, and when the summon gets near them, it should aggro on them, and they'll aggro on it, making them visible. See if we can use these spectators to torque me up a bit. Another round of spectators. That's a pretty big worm. So don't worry about Feral Caverim at this point. Even though he does appear to be aggressive, DPSing him isn't going to help. And then you get this big, giant purple worm that comes up and swallows the drow leader. And then this happens. How cool is that? And then we get swallowed, and we go inside the belly of the beast. And we get to fight our way out of the innards of a purple worm. So cool. Now we're looking for shards of a special weapon that the drow leader was talking about, the Earth Carver, which is, it says, is a special weapon he keeps on hand just in case the purple worms get out of hand. So we gotta pick up all those shards and fight our way through some baddies. And then we got these digestive slimes. Let's bring them all together and take them all out at once. Now these guys get tore up by light. They are highly resistant to a lot of other kinds of damage, but the light spells really tear them up. now we got Phlegm, which interestingly, he does not have the same immunities as, as the other ones that were just there. So he can be damaged by cold and by fire. Can't remember about acid and electricity. Looks like he's resistant to electricity. Getting yellow numbers there. I don't see any acid numbers, so he's probably immune to acid. That would make sense, since he lives inside acid. And another shard down the hatch. Get through this creepy area here. This was a very clever usage of the Mind Flare graphics, and I think it's so cleverly placed that you don't even, you may not even notice that it was actually the same graphic as the Mind Flare's tentacles. So great job there, reusing the graphics in a clever way. So even though he's not actually a rust monster, I think he is. He's supposed to be some sort of generic parasite. Oh, he is a rust monster. Look at that. And another shard. And here is Feral Cave Rim. And we got the last shard to reassemble Earth Carver. And then we get flooded by stomach acid. This part, you really just basically want to go up, but it can... I've seen people get sort of lost here. Just look at the mini-map. You have to just kind of go around a little bit, and then just keep going up, and you'll come right out. Actually, don't even really need the shrine, because you don't have to damage. There's not really a lot of fighting after this. But you want to attack one of the parts of the intestines to fight your way out. We can go ahead and use Earth Carver for that. There we go. And then we get shot out back here. And we're going to use Earth Carver to strike the killing blow. And that is Epic Elite Belly of the Beast. Thanks for watching. Here are the 3 chests for all our troubles, for the optionals. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. And if you have any questions about my build, you can respond to my build post on the DDO forums. Or if you're on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell.